Hey guys, it's FireGingerWolf back here with a very quick Guild Wars 2 video. Today I'm going to briefly explain kind of how the traits work, the skills work, the traits, what other stuff you have access to besides just the skills, like how the skills work, how the traits work. You got your amulets, you got your sigils, and then you got your ruins. So I'm briefly going to explain how that works quickly about PvP, since it is a little different than PvE. This can be probably just a couple minute video here, but I want to wish you guys all a happy 4th. Hope you guys are having fun, being safe and all that fun stuff. But hope you guys are having a great 4th. Hope you guys are having fun. It's great to be back out and do stuff after this whole crazy year with COVID. So I'm going to switch over here to our game. As I said, this is going to be a very quick video explaining just a couple of things about. So I'm picking a very remote spot here. So give me just a second here. I'll fly out to no man's land over here for a second. Alright, so I'm going to explain just a few things here. So the way that these traits work is that you get 5 different, I must say regular specializations. And then each of these has a different set of bonuses you can pick in which they affect certain skills. And I know I go over these very quickly. I used to go over more in depth at the beginning of these videos, but over time I've just focused on the ones that help our skills. And so when we go over, we're going to create builds and stuff like that. These are going to be a lot more important. I will be explaining these in depth and stuff like that, and why I'm picking certain ones over others. But each of these offers you different skills. So for example, you got your skirmishing skills right here is this middle one. Each of these gives you access. You get these 3 guaranteed, and these are going to max up with this. You got Tailwind here, you got Furious Grip here, and then you've got Hunter's Tactics here. And then you get to pick one of each of these for each section, essentially. And obviously you're going to miss out on the 2 other ones, so the trick is figuring out which one's going to be best for your character, and having the ones that are the best for your character and not having a whole lot of weaknesses for your characters. Things you're going to use constantly, or things that are going to trigger based off of certain skills that you got going. So that's all the same for all these. And then if you guys have Heart of Thorns or Path of Fire, in the bottom one you get 2 extra specializations, and they're going to be, you get the 5 basic ones, and over here's your list. You got marksmanship, skirmish, wilderness, nature, beastmaster. Those are your basic 5. You can put any of those in any of these spots. However, you can only pick the druid and the soul beast, your other elite specializations, from the expansions. You can only put them in the last set of the last row here, and it's going to be the same as the other ones. You pick which ones you want, and you obviously miss out on 2, but you get all of these in bonuses while at it. So those are the traits, and those I will be going a lot over more during creating our builds. And this is more of just when we start creating the builds, I have this explained to you guys. I know most of you probably know this, but I know there are some people newer to this game, so sometimes it kind of helps to have this out there. And obviously, for you people who know more than this game than me, if you guys have anything you else like to share, please put it in the comments below and help out. And like I said, we want to be a community which helps each other out. So if you guys got other ideas, please let me know. All right, and then we'll go to our skills next. So we got our skills here. So we got our slot skills, and each of these skills obviously has a sort of type, which is what we went through with all the skill builds that we went through. So we got the command, the survival, the trap, the spirit, you got the glyphs, and you got the stances. Each of those, not all skills have a category, not all of them do, most of them do. And those are obviously going to be enhanced to the trait line, which we went over in most of the videos. But the way it works is you get 1 healing skill, so obviously you can't have You can't pick from all these skills, and you can only get so like the glyphs and the stances, for example, for the ranger, can only be accessed if you are using the druid or soul beast elite specialization. Otherwise, you get only access to the other four. So it's kind of the whole pick and choose thing. So you get one of these skills, and obviously you get one healing skill, and you miss out on the rest. I'm going to sneeze here, so give me just a second. Excuse me. So then we get our utility, like the same thing. You got your glyphs, your traps, you got your signets, your spirits, your commands, and stuff like that. And you can only have, like, so you get these five, but the glyphs and the stances you get only from the druid and soul beast, and you get to pick 3 of them. Any combination you want, anything like that. Obviously, you are going to want to pick stuff that's going to be suitable for your weapons, the type of build you want, that are enhanced by the traits, or your traits, certain traits trigger these abilities, and they just kind of all, it works together as a collective unit. Obviously, you want what's best for your character. And then you got your elite skills, which are your more powerful skills, and those usually have a longer cooldown, but you only get one. And I'm going to keep saying it, but you got your glyphs and your stance, which can only be accessed if you're using the druid and the soul beast. And so you got to pick one, missing out on the others. Then we'll go up to here. All right, so we got our weapons. Obviously, you got your weapons, you got your 2 hands. And then with the weapons, you get these, you can add these sigils to the weapons, and these give you an extra bonus in a sense. They can add extra stats or abilities to your weapons based on the weapons you are currently using. So for example, this one I got here, Sigil of Intelligence. Your next 3 attacks after swapping to this weapon while in combat have a 100% critical chance. So you have a 9-second cooldown on this, but every time you swap to the sword and warhorn, and actually the longbow, you're going to get 3 guaranteed critical hits. And so a lot of these, there's a lot of options. Now obviously you're going to want to pick ones that are good for you based off your weapons you're using and stuff like that. Couple get tips, I guess. The elementalist can't swap weapons during combat, so obviously just having something trigger when swapping weapons isn't going to be the best thing for him. But you're going to want to add things that are going to help your weapons enhance and all that fun stuff. So there's one here where on the longbow it's Sigil of Separation. Deal 5% extra damage to targets more than 500 distance away. Obviously, I can be, with the when we went over the ranger a few days ago, the longbow obviously is going to do more damage the farther you shoot. So you're also going to get that 5 extra percent damage from this if they're 500 over. So 500 away from you. So basically, a lot of these give you different effects only on the weapons you are using. So I do not get these 4 stacks of might when I swap to this weapon if I'm using the longbow, or I swap to the longbow. I only get the Sigil Intelligence. These basically just add extra abilities or conditions. Like there's one here, Sigil of Agony, increase inflicted bleed duration. And there's one for poisons on here too. And basically, it's going to help enhance your skills or your conditions or anything else, or boon removal. You got gain might on hit. You've got remove impairment when you swap. You've got deal extra damage below the health threshold. There's a couple in here. On hit, remove condition. So a lot of these they apply to your weapons. Hopefully this is making sense so far. And then we'll go to our ruins. And ruins, the way PvP works is all your stats are exactly the same. If you had no weapons or no amulet, everyone's stats would be exactly the same. If no traits and nothing. If you just walked into PvP, had no weapons, no armor, no runes, or no trait lines, everyone's stats would be exactly the same. So your stat bonuses are going to come from the ruins, the amulets, and the trait lines. Some traits. But these ruins work in which you get to pick certain things. It's going to help your character overall with certain things. Like there's certain ones that offer better things. Like this ranger here, you get precision ferocity and I get +7 damage while you have an active companion. So if I have a pet, I get an extra 7% damage. So obviously you're going to want to pick stuff that's going to help you during your playstyle. So for example, you got Ruin of Strength here. You got Might, you got extra power, you got extra Might duration, +10 Might duration, increased damage by 5% under the effect of Might. So all these are going to help you out in some fashion, either with your stats or your damage or your conditions. Because there's this one right here, which I like using with the Necromancer, is condition damage, poison damage, bleeding damage, condition duration. And basically, it allows you to enhance your stats during combat. And obviously, you're going to want to pick things that are going to help you out based off of everything that we've talked about, the skills, the weapons, the traits, the sigils, your weapons. All that is huge in making great builds. And this is going to be something that we're going to go over, why I'm picking certain amulets, certain ruins, certain weapons, sigils, and stuff over others. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully this is making sense. It may be a lot, but obviously for the people who know what's going on, this is obviously very easy to understand. And then finally we got our amulets. And these are the big chunks of stat boosters that we get in PvP. So each stat, all of these are going to offer a minimum of 3 stats, and they give you certain stats. I don't know how the number percentages work. I think it's based off of, for example, in PvE, there's each of these is a different name. So like you got the Berserker, and it's always powers top, precision second, ferocity's third. Each of these has their stat proportions, how much of it goes into which stat, and it's always going to be the same based on the I don't know what I want to call it. Armor name, I guess, like armor name, like Berserker versus Marauder. Like there is a difference between the two. So obviously you're going to want to pick things that are going to help you out or boost your stats. So for example, I like the power, precision, ferocity. It's what I've got for PvE gear, but it may not always be the useful thing. So you got the Valkyrie here, which is same amount of power. You can have 900 vitality instead, and the ferocity would be your same. So basically, you can pick which stats you want a buff in or a decrease in based off of certain things. So you can always switch this around. I can always switch these things around outside of games. Once you get into the lobby, I think you're stuck, or maybe you can switch it right till the game starts. But overall, it's kind of, you can pick where you want your stats increased. So obviously, if you're playing something with condition damage, you're going to want something with a +1000 condition damage, because it's going to make a difference. So hopefully that makes sense. I wanted to do just a really quick video for you guys on all that, because I know I don't go over it at all in my other builds besides the traits and stuff. But the idea is that I'm sure people who know this game better than me are going to agree that those are huge parts of your build. Having the right amulets, having the right traits, the sigils, and the ruins. It's all important, and that's what we're going to be going through, is finding what set of stuff works with characters and builds really good over others. I will be explaining why I grab certain things over others, and hopefully we can create great builds and maybe really awesome builds that are going to take you guys hopefully up in ranks and have some fun with them. I know that was a lot of information to process, but hopefully, if it makes sense, be sure to leave a like or a comment on the video. Hopefully that helps you out. Like I said, I hope you guys have a great 4th. I wanted to keep it short, kind of quick, but have a great 4th. I will be back on Monday to do a Guild Wars video for sure. We're going to play with another class, going through the weapon builds and stuff like that. So be sure to check that out, along with the Rangers. The first weapon build we did, which was the Ranger video. So be sure to check that out. Take care. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys on Monday. Have a good one.